Okay, so today we're going to do a very exciting and new kind of dish that I've never done before. And I've never even tasted this this recipe before, and I've certainly never prepared it. It looked really interesting, and I have some meat that I was wondering, because it's so thinly sliced, I didn't know what to do with it. Suddenly it occurred to me to do a stuffed roast, and this is something I'm going to try. And I will have the recipe in the description box. So I'll just go over the main ingredients. You can use whatever meat you like. I have some meat that we got, and it's quite thinly sliced. You can see that it's, there's 3 slices here. So there are 3 slices of meat. I have some parsley with cilantro chopped up, minced garlic, some red cayenne, and some black pepper. Now that I'm going to be mixing with some olive oil into a sauce that I will be spreading on the meat. And then after I do that, I'm also going to be adding these items. Now, the one mistake I kind of did make is that these should be hard boiled. And for the life of me, I can't figure out why they didn't, they're a little soft boiled, as you can see. And that's okay. We're just going to work with what we have. But it's funny because I have 2 hard-boiled eggs pretty much every morning. I make it into something for breakfast. And usually, I mean, not on weekends maybe, but during the week. And I make them hard-boiled every time, but for whatever reason, they're a little on the soft side. But that's okay. At least they're, I've taken them out of their shell and I've sliced them in quarters. I have some carrots that I parboiled, and I have some green peppers and some red peppers. So let's get started. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to mix. I have my oil, and I'm just taking my parsley cilantro mix. And by the way, it smells, I say this pretty much on every episode, but it really does smell very nice in here. And it's a different smell. It's not... This is very different from a lot of the food that I've made before. It's what I'm smelling right now is obviously the parsley cilantro, and it has a very, very strong smell, and if you've never had it before. And people generally have a tendency to either love it or hate it. So here is the black pepper, and I'm just going to be adding in, and you can add as much or as little as you like. I don't want it to be super hot. So I'm just going to give that a mix. And that's good enough. It should look roughly like this. Like it's very green. And that's going to be our first layer. So what I'm actually going to do is I'll take this here and I will spoon this mixture. Not all of it, because I have more meat that I would like to do. Okay, so I have that, and to this I'm going to be layering my peppers, with my egg mixture. And I'm going to be adding some carrots to that. So there we go. Okay, so what I've done, I think Scooby's going to start barking. He usually starts barking, so I may as well let you know that you're probably going to be hearing some bark soon. And of course, now that I've said that, he's not barking. This is very interesting. So what I've done is I finished rolling the meat, and I think it looks pretty good. I secured it with some twine so that the filling doesn't come out. And what I want to, and I'm just going to fry it, brown it, I should say, lightly before I put it into the oven. But what I wanted to say was, what happened was, because the meat was, I think, a little too thin maybe for stuffing, I ended up putting 2 pieces of meat. So instead of 1, I have 2 here. So I'm just going to take this. Otherwise, I think it looks really good. And I don't think there's anything wrong with using 2 pieces. I think you can probably see it. It's been seared very nicely. So I'm just doing the other side of it. And once that's done, I'm just going to be putting this in the oven. Now, the recipe does not say to put tomato sauce, but I'm really wondering if I should, because it might end up being too dry. But on the other hand, anyways, I'll figure it out and I will be back. But I am very excited to see how this dish turns out and also how it tastes. Probably I'm more interested in seeing how it tastes, and I'm imagining it's going to be very, very delicious. So I will be back very, very soon once this is cooked. So after consulting with a lot of different recipes, what I've decided to do is put the roast back into my Dutch oven, put some A1 sauce and some tomato sauce on them, add a little bit of water, and I'm going to let this simmer. I think the meat is going to be way overcooked if I put it in the oven. So this is what I'm going to do, and I think it will be okay. We'll see, and I'm going to be sprinkling this with cheese once it's done. I'm just going to remove the lid. It looks so good in here. Oh my gosh. And I'm going to just put this on the tray. It turned good, and I think this looks good. I don't know how it tastes. I haven't tasted it yet. But it looks like, I think I made a good decision. So we're just going to bring this out and have a taste testing. So we've got our beautiful roasts. I think they turned out even better than I was expecting. We're in our balcony right now, and I'm just going to turn this so you can see the other side. It retained its, filling. A little bit of the filling did fall out. You can see the egg on that side, but for all intents and purposes, I think it looks fantastic. We're just going to dig in very, very shortly. Oh, that looks okay. Okay, here. We're just gonna gently just let. Yeah, maybe if you can finish cutting through there. It's a little tricky. Yes, okay. I just want to show this one here. We can already sort of see. Oh my gosh, does that ever look great? I think that looks really, really fantastic. So I'm just gonna ask you to take some on your plate, and just maybe you can take this one or whichever one you want and just give us a taste test. But we want to see, yeah. So tell me how it tastes. There's the carrots, the peppers, the eggs. We didn't bother with the cheese. How is it?
Absolutely delicious.
Great.
Very delicious.
Would you
It's very tasty, and I'm enjoying.
What do you think I put into it?
Peppers,
Yeah, I already actually said what I did.
eggs,
Yeah.
cheese.
No, I didn't put any cheese. What's the flavoring that you're getting, the strong flavor of what?
Dill.
No, it's actually coriander.
Okay, I get dill and coriander mixed up.
Okay. So anyways, you like it? What kind of grade would you give?
A+.
Okay, thank you. So let's eat. I'm just going to end with the beautiful sunset. So please stay tuned for more interesting episodes. Thank you, and I hope you enjoyed this one.